1 Timothy chapter 4, verses 11 and 12. These things command and teach. Let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word, in conversation, in charity, in spirit, in faith, in purity. Notice it says, let no man despise thy youth, as in David's youth when he killed Goliath, as in Josiah's youth when he took over the kingdom of Judah at the age of 7 years old and instituted one of the greatest revivals the Old Testament ever saw, outside of Solomon or David or Hezekiah. Timothy's youth. Paul's writing to Timothy. Timothy was a youthful individual. Or even Titus, the book after Timothy, 2 Timothy. Let no man despise thy youth. He says, but be thou an example of the believers. All right, so the youth, Christian youth, can be a good example to the believers. You can have some young men that could teach some things to the older men. And of course, there are plenty of older men that could teach some things to the younger to help them be good youth. But I don't think we should despise the youth because of their age, but rather we should take the time out to listen to them and hear them. We might actually learn something. Already says, let no man despise thy youth, but be thou an example of the believers in word. That's what you say. In conversation, that's what you do. In charity, that's how you behave. In spirit, that's how you feel. In faith, that's what you believe. In purity, that's what you think. And so, hey, if there's the youth out there that can be an example to you in those things, you ought to encourage them. You ought to help them. You ought to train them. You ought to get around them and encourage them, because the generation we have today is the youth that we have in this world today are raised up to hate God, to hate their parents, to hate life, and to hate the Bible, and to hate Christians, and to hate Christianity, to hate America. And so if you can find a good youth, like I said, David or Josiah, or any example of a youthful individual. How about that young man that brought the 5 loaves and the 2 fishes? Should we despise him? Or the 7 loaves and the fishes there? Should we despise him because of his age? Why, if it weren't for him, you don't have the multitudes being fed. A picture of the breaking of the Lord Jesus Christ's body there, and being able to save the multitudes, the thousands of men and women and children. Should we despise the youth of the young man who got a hold of Samson's hands and put them between 2 pillars? And Samson, at the end of his life, killed more than all during his life. Should we despise the youth? I'd say no. We should encourage the youth, help them to be an example to the believers. They have a generation possibly after them or alongside them that are going to need some good examples to follow. Until next time, may God bless.